line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up.
Hello again, folks, and welcome back here to PTM Rates TV Live here in SoCal Valley's area, Fontana, California. We are live at Auto Club Speedway for the resurgence of the Next Gen Cup Series of the GOAT Racing League Global Strategy Team Series here on PTM Race TV, as we are now taking the race number 2 of the season. Hi, everyone. I am the Crusader Christian Schroeder, joining you guys here today, live on the call and onto the show here tonight. Definitely a bit of a wild one today. 2 miles in length, high bank, high rolling, 30 cars to the stage, big track, big playing field, tough racing to match and to follow around here. We would want it any other way. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's take it down to our Global Strategy Team Racing Next Gen Cup Series starting lineup here. This is the starting lineup tonight here. And the number 19, Dyer Dalton, looking to tap off where he was last time out in the first spot. He'll start first on the pole, but there's outside the number 35 is an old nemesis in Chad Coleman. Row number 2 is Scott Simley, and the number 7 the outside, and the 93, that is old Bud Shearer. Row number 3 is Dakota Kramer, and the number 42 the outside, and the old 44, Christoph Hall. Row number 4 is Robert Dudley, and the 49 the outside, and the 87 it's Steve Rutter. Row number 5 is Sean Berg, and the 95 the outside in the big 60, John Hickman Jr. Row number 6 is the 43 is Samuel Harrell, the outside. The number 6 is Cameron DeGrue. Row number 7 comes to us in the number 1 of Jay Gimbel, the outside. Bobby Wetzel on the 90. Row number 8 is Ron Holyfield in the 11, the outside. The number 12 it is Aaron Action Jackson. Row number 9 in the number 10 is Ryan D. Cook, the outside. The number 8 is Maurice Burnett. Row number 10 is the number 22 of Alan Wild, the outside. Yeah, the old 24, Cody Sturgill. Row number 11 is going to be Michael Caffrey in the 77, the outside. And the 94, it is Justin Reynolds. Row number 12 is Charles Van Schleck in the 23, the outside. And number 15, it is Joe Hudson. Row number 13 will be Phil Hales in the number 58, the outside. In that number 18, it is Philip Schmitz. Row number 14 is Brian Wortman in the 52, the outside, and then 96, it's Jerry Livingston. And finally, our final row, row number 15, Richard Crane pilots the 36, for the outside, number 3, Keith Prince. Here we go, race fans. The action is about to commence. The heat is overwhelming here in Auto Club, and it's about to get even hotter with 120 laps to the distance. Stage 1's looking at, could be lap number 25. Our stage 2 will end at lap 60. From there, 60 laps to the distance. With 60% fuel and a 4-tire total limit, things could get tough and they could get dicey for some on the track. Field will ring their way around off of corner number 4 this time on by. Our pace car are ready to get out of the way and let the drivers do the talking. This is all their playing field now. This is all on them to control the narrative and where they set this up. Off the line to the front straightaway, looking for the green flag. There it is. We start the Global Strategy Team Next Gen Cup Series race number 2 at Auto Club Speedway. Robert Van Ness saying rock and roll. Yes, indeed. Let's rock it. Let's roll it out here on the track. 3 wide out of the gate. No surprise here. High bank, wide openings, a lot of areas to play with. At the same time, you got to be careful about where and when you make your move. Look at the sea of cars. This is a massive field of drivers already making it work here. The sea of green, the sea of speed. And speaking of sea of speed, major jump in between. Robert Dudleyville has thrown the tables. He's putting fools through tables left and right. Now he's going to get put into it. 4 wide on the front straightaway for lap number 2. They're still hanging on to that corner there up to turn 1. Dudley backs off. He'll lay low. The 9 there will get it right up ahead. That is Bobby West still actually in the 7500 camp. The 6 is Cameron DeRay right now, making his long-awaited return back on the show after some heartaches back at Daytona last time out. Told me earlier today here, he's been in this shoe before. He's been in this place before. He knows what it takes to get to the top 4. He knows what he'll have to do to bring it to the table tonight. Well, right now, currently getting in the playoffs is going to be easier said than done because, again, with a driver count and a driver lineup like this, you've got a massive variety of just drivers looking to take each other to their limits and take each other to their fullest. Tyler Dahl in the 19 right now getting a good idea of that as Bud Shearer right now puts the fight to him. Now Dahl last time out did win it on the Super Speedway and there at Daytona, getting the first win of the season and really in his mind finally having a little bit of a break, having somebody else push him onto the win. But for everybody else, they looked at it as simply put a target to put on his back and to put on himself. And this is what we always talk about, which is how long and how far will you go before you will begin to tear yourself up to try to beat out the best and beat out not be the rest. Well, we were 4 wide deep there off the starts and 3 deep into the corners, and a lot of drivers absolutely killing it out of the gate. So far, been pretty good though. Everything seems to be right in their wheelhouse, right under control. Everybody just trying to stay within the realm of feasible and not overdo their tires early. Again, those right fronts and the right rears take a bit of a beat down out of the gate if you try to overdrive it. And with a rear end differential that really kicks that car out. Watch for drivers to try to find the smoothest surface to ride around the track. We talk about it constantly and trying to run the shortest line, the shortest distance to create the most speed and generate the most power. But in this case, this is more of a long run scenario. Fight your lines, fight your spots, hope for the best. The outside line will be where a lot of drivers are going to charge and try to aim towards, due to the fact that it is a smoother ended surface up on the top and a little bit less rigid on the bottom where the grip is. The top side allows the drivers to really smoothen out the surface and really hone the craft and make use of what they've got right now. So far, so good though. 20 laps remain here in stage number 1. So far though, it has been Tyler Dalton with the race lead. Bud Shearer occasionally coming up and poking the bear, if you will, or having a little fun kind of messing with him. But so far since then, it's been kind of a bit of a gas check, a bit of a recreational check, see which one gets the better of the other and who is going to be able to move the chain. Huge jumps out of the gate like Robert Dudley managed to get 2 spots up. Looked there 4 of them, but he got 4 wided there into turn 1. Had to back off. He knew he was in a bad spot. Didn't know where the line was going to go. And remember, these drivers have no quick repairs. So what does that mean? You drive it like it's your only car. If you mess that up, that's your own fault, or that is the fault of somebody else. You can talk it over with them later. That's the time I always say as a driver, it's always my fault, so. Tony Westcott says, hello bud, how's it going? Tony, good to hear from you, sir. And I'm doing pretty good tonight, man. Just kind of doing our usual stick, letting the call be done and letting the drivers see what they bring to the table. Speaking of bringing to the table, Christoph Hall here, the 44. We've seen him in victory lane more often than not at times on the other end of the other leagues, but here in the Go Racing League, he's had some troubles actually performing at the usual high level we regarded him as. We've seen him really pull off before. He told me the other day that really I need to get back to my system. I've got to get back to what makes me me. I can't let other drivers take over my own spot, my own destiny. I've got to figure out how to manage and deal with my own self, my own conservation, and figure out where from there to make the best of my runs. So far right now doing a pretty good job of it. However, he does have a little bit of company coming his way as a Heineken number 7. That is Scott Simley looking for the podium spot, 3rd place. We're going 3 wide down into turn number 1 and 2. Back off the gap, shoots to the bottom. John Higman Jr., the Victrix, number 60, looking deep inside the outline of Robert Dudleyville. Puts it to Cameron DeRue as well. And the number 6 as the 6 Folgers. The Ford Mustang is currently holding up. And no, I did not say another bad word. It is Folgers. It's F-O-L-G-E-R. Brent Logue says, good evening, sir. And Tony Westcott saying, not sure how your weather is, but we're getting pounded with snow here, bud. Yes, we are, Tony. We're getting hit pretty bad over here, brother. Brent Logue saying, good evening, sir. Good evening to you, too, sir. Great to have you back on board here. You can have back on board here, looking on the top side, down to the bottom here. Watch out for that 87. Scott Ritter is making no friends, making his way to the front. He's certainly just trying to see where he can get to it. He's got that Victrix number 60 machine right in front of him. Hickman Jr. currently dealing with Jaron Jackson there on the top side. Some battling goes on between Dudleyville and DeRue. Saw that slight little toe tap there on the front straightaway there. Dudleyville looks like he got a little piece of the number 6 here as DeRue was trying to fight back on him as they're going to charge him down 3 wide yet again down into turn number 1 and 2. Oh yeah, by the way, if I forgot to mention, Tyler Dalton's already kind of ran away here in stage number 1. I think these drivers are going to have to figure out a pit stall strategy there because they're not going to catch him very much on the leader strategy. I think they may have him beat there for a little while. Big jump to the front for the 7500 number 9. That is Westell right now currently dealing with Simley. And now the rest are back right behind him. DeRue looking to charge up. Again, great battle going from the top half to the front. But for the leader-wise, there's been no contest other than Bud Shearer throwing a few jabs and a few haymakers, but nothing that stuck to it. Dalton was kind of able to outpunch him and outbox him a little bit, and he got thrown back to the black and got thrown to the back. Take a look at our blip cam right now. Here is the sea of drivers received. That's from third on back. Christoph Hall actually just up ahead there of the rest of the field here as they move their way down in the chains here. Big moves coming up. Cody Sturgill, the 24, making a little bit of a return surgence here. Saw him do well back in the truck series on Tuesday night, Daytona, but he told me earlier his focus is just as much the same as trucks as Cup. He wants to prove he can get it done in both series, but he would love nothing more than to win in the Cup Series. A little bit loose off of turn number 2. Trouble for the 9. Bobby Wetzel at 811, number 9, 7500 camp. Almost sent himself to the Shadow Realm. Thankfully able to avoid it and keep himself under control, but that definitely gave him a few little scares there in between, I bet you. It's pretty impressive here for the first part of this race. This battle going on here for second and on back has been pretty much handled from the top 10 drivers and from the top 10 fields, so no one's really safe in this. They're 3 wide again. Sturgill down on the bottom. Simley in the middle. Dudley and Jackson on top, and in the bottom, everybody else kind of crisscrossed and applesauced its way through. Don Hickman Jr. right in the middle now. The Victrix 60 trying to make a jump to the front. Notice something too, we've only got one Toyota driver out there today, and that's Robert Dudleyville. And right now, currently, everybody else driving either Chevys or Fords, and in that Chevy camp, there's only one of them, and that's Samuel Harrell. I know, whoa, 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 hold on down there, we got trouble, there's smoke, and there is a fire set upon us. As the 12 of Aaron Action Jackson goes for a little ride on the front straightaway here. Smoke coming off from the 12 there. Looks like it might have gotten spun there on the front straightaway. We're going to have to go visit the P10 Racing TV instant replay. By the way, how do we like the new transitions we kind of been working on here? Nobody says anything on our Pedal on Racing League broadcast, so I'm going to ask you guys because we updated these. Because what I got word from other folks and our producers was those look better. Right there, man, you can see Simley looked like it just came down a little bit. Jackson had no idea where he was going. And all of a sudden, he goes for a little bit of a tail whip and a tail spin. There is no way out of that one, and there is no way getting out of it either. Middle of your screen right now, take a close look. Jackson slightly came down, but Simley moved up, and bam! Look at Dudley get slammed into the wall there out that big hit. Looked like Chase Elliott after Kyle Larson just kind of forgot where a spotter was telling him to go. For the record, I love Carl Larson, and I'm not a Chase Elliott fan all that much, so don't come at me for that little joke. I don't mind Chase Elliott, I will say that. He's not as horrible as I will say, it's just I think his fan base just drives me. Now, that's a different story, though. If you like him, like him. Like I said, but just don't make him sound like he's the second coming, please, guys. Or he's like the Dale Earnhardt Sr. of our generation, please. That's all I ask. Anyway. We're going to square back up here from the front straightaway right now. Very interesting to see what pit strategies will come upon. Bud Scherer playing a little mind games down there. Cameron DeRue, Bobby Wetzel, Robert Dudleyville, and Don Hickman Jr. will go into pit road. So, looks like we'll lose Philip Schmitz, Jerry Livingston, Chad Colbert, Richard Cray, Joe Hudson, Justin Reynolds, Brian Wertman, Michael Caffrey, Aaron Jackson. They will go into pit road. And yeah, for Jackson right now, I think it's probably going to be looking at those tires and really paying close attention to what he's going to need to bring to the table here. That was definitely a bad little spot he got thrown into and not where he wanted to deal with. He'll charge it down to pit road, and this is going to be a little bit of a cleanup job on that number 12. Looks like just fuel for the 12, actually. Jackson not opting for the tires. Bud Scherer stayed out again, but looks like he's going to try to run the bottom lane, try to keep the tires cooled up. Dalton not really caring too much. Looks like he's going to run where he needs to. Really, he's got to control the lines here. Got a few folks that shared our stream on around. Thanks again to Alan Wild for helping us out and sharing that around. Thank you so much for your support. If you guys are new to the channel as well here, be sure to like and follow us up here on Facebook. Head over to our YouTube and subscribe there. We try to give you the best coverage and the best action to call each and every time out here. I would really appreciate the support, and if you do like it, be sure to support it. It's the only way we know we are doing our job right. We are now doubling, filed up, back for the set. So as the field gets squared back up here early on, Tyler Dalton taking early advantage there and making some good runs out of the gate. Bud Shear seemed like he was being a little bit more patient, a little bit more squared up, but didn't quite get cleared out, didn't quite find himself in the right areas at the right time. We'll have to see how that works out for him long term. Christoph Hall, Scott Simley, and Sammy Orell making some big jumps there. Sibley especially getting trapped a little bit there out of the gate, but seems to be figured out now. Well, Sammy Orell had texted us in the, or at least left a voicemail in our broadcast, and he asked, can you please look at his car? Well, here you go. This is Massage Envy, number 483, Chevrolet Camaro. Not a bad looking ride there, old Orell. I'll give you that, bud. But you know what? You can get a good look at it if you put it in victory lane. So let's see what happens. We'll bring him down off the front straightaway here. Fire back towards our green flag restart zone. We bring the GST machines back to life. Brent Logue saying everything looks and sounds awesome. Brent, thank you so much for the support. We love what we hear. Coming down right off turn number 2. Guy at the gate, Cody Sturge are going to make the big jump on the outside. Looks like he's going to try to ride it out there. Leaders right now trying to keep up with the 19th Tyler Dalton. And Dalton trying to prove something here too. He's trying to prove that he didn't just win at a plate track because it was a plate track. He's trying to prove he can win on the other tracks and he can take down the best of them. He's got the highest I rating of all these drivers at 6,299. So if you're going to try to take him down, you best figure out how to outrace him in many regards. He's not going to be easy. And speaking of not be easy, running that top side not easy either. Gets on the outside wall, goes the 3G 44. Almost with trouble there, right ensuing on below him. The 23 of Charles Van Schuyck goes for the big run, nearly gets into a Cody Sturgill. Entering into number 3 is what we're going to go 3 deep, nearly 4 deep down through the corner. Sturgill looking for anything he can, trying to find an opening or two. Charles Van Schuyck just hanging down in the bottom lane, probably just seeing where his options are. Everybody on that top side right now just running their line and running their field in. I didn't even mention it either, but we got a new contender in the top 5, Jay Gimbel. He's gone 9 spots up. He qualified 13th. He's sitting in 4th. And he's making some good paces and some good runs here. Looks like he might be trying to set a bar, set a tone here on the drivers. Sturgill dipping down low yet again here around to that 23 of Charles Van Schuyck dealing with the pressure. This just gives you a good idea too of just how really big this track is and how much wide end of the surface they've got to work with and what they can use here. There's just so much opportunity and so much area to use and master. It's quite impressive, really. Multiple multiple angles to work with, multiple grounds to cover. Top side, again, is going to be where you save your tires. The middle and the bottom is where you make your passes. I have seen drivers, though, use the outside to actually make passes before, but they are doing it under very interesting circumstances. In a circumstance like this, I really don't think you want to make too many mistakes. Right now, the reigning and defending season champion, Charles Van Schleidt, bringing out a brand new car inspired by the Petty's Victory Junction Ford Mustang number 23. He's living in the fast lane, as that back bumper will tell you. And he is using up everything he's got on this entire field, trying to make a run for him. Final laps approaching. And Tyler Dalton right now, look at this. He's got company on his port panel. That 93 of Bud Shearer was not leaving him alone. But unfortunately, Dalton outclassed him. Here comes Gimbel on the outside. Shearer got tight off turn number 2, lost in the turn. Now opens the door up for the number 1 to make an attack. The Massage MV number 43, Samuel Morel, also looking in, trying to peek into the mind, trying to peek into the drive. Got a bit of a chance here to catch up to the field if he can get a draft going, trying to get some pump and gun in here. Look at this now, Gimbel to the inside of Dalton. Dalton having to drive just a slight bit harder here. Holds the middle, but here on the bottom goes Gimbel. That's where he got loose last time for the 93, but it doesn't work here for him. Gimbel is now looking to make the move here. Final lap coming up for stage number 1. Major implications being made here. First into pits, first out of pit road as well. Could come up. Look at this, the inside Gimbel. One drive off. Down to the front straightaway, trying to catch him. And he's going to get him just by the slimmest of margins down the bottom. He takes the lead as caution flies. How about that one, race fans? Jay Gimbel will take stage number 1. He's going to be your stage winner here after an impressive final drive there to the front. But he has got a long road ahead of him, and the iRace podcast number 1 still's got some room left. But that was definitely something Tyler Dalton will be chalking up notes on. There's a lot to be aware of there, that is for certain. And the thing is, Gimbel didn't go into pit road. He wasn't one of the guys that went into pit road. Everybody else that did. Kind of got strapped to the pack a little bit. Could the tires be able to hang on for quite a while here in the Next Gen Cup Series? That's going to be the question they have to figure out. They'll have to answer. Very impressive start, though, to the first part of this race. Again, we are only on stage number 1. Stage number 2 will end at lap 60. It will begin as soon as the drivers get it and done out of pit road. Keep in mind, guys, well, we will be having some more calls to be made here on the show. Be sure to tune on in for Goat Racing League's Truck Series on Tuesday nights. If you thought this was a big pack, oh no, you have not seen the Truck Series. Come on out. So right now, Phil going into pit road here. We've got our eyes on the Kais and eyes on the camera here. Michael Caffrey and Joe Hudson will stay on out. In pit road right now, the field going to see who can race the other out of pit road quickly. And it's Dalton who gets out of pit road first. Shearer, Van Schleidt, and Simley will join him out there, and Justin Reynolds making it out in the top 5 spots out of pit road. Now the thing is, now we gotta figure out really from here, how does pit road make a difference, and how much of a difference will it make for the fuel and for the drive? Again, they're gonna have about 30 laps they gotta get to before they get to stage number 2, and then that 60 lap drive really could make things just a little bit more interesting. We talk about how difficult it is just to try to work around some of these areas and some of these spots. It can be extremely tantalizingly difficult, as much as it can be powerful in their mind's eye to make or break their day. We're going to double them up, race fans, and get them all squared back up for the next part of the race. Field coming their back way around off of that corner number 4 to the front stretch. Back to the green we go. It will be Hudson leading him down. USAL number 15 machine going to ride them off to the side and ride them off into the sunset out of turn number 2. It is now the 19 coming for them. USAL Ford Mustang of Hudson right now dealing with Dalton on the inside. Dalton looking for the pass here off of corner number 3 to 4. Still though, Hudson doesn't back down from the fight. He keeps it right at Dalton. Looks like Dalton's got a few drivers that will not hold back on him. That'll be good to know for later, because now he can use that strategy and use that information for what he can best describe as figure out the field and figure out the drive to survive. Michael Caffrey in the 97 from Australia, 18 spots up. He's won here before on Pizza Race TV. He's looking to try to do it again here. Oh, look out though! Trouble on the back straightaway. That 7 Scott Simley goes for a wild ride and gets tagged with a few drivers involved. Drivers trying to swerve and avoid him, but that caution is out here in stage number 2. Field getting completely thrown into the wall and thrown around for a bit of a ragdoll situation. Take a look at the P10 Racing TV instant replay. Bud Shearer getting right into that wall. The 94 trying to get out of there, and then Simley, man, he gets tagged once, then twice. That was Sturgill that got him, and I think the 94 was Reynolds. You can see Simley though did take a bit of damage there. The 87, unfortunately, as well. Nowhere to go there. We'll take one look at why the 83 there, Bud Shearer, got into contact situation. Excuse me, 93 there. Not totally sure what went wrong. We did have a chopper cam though on it. So see. Oh, right there. Yep, right there. They got it earlier. Got trapped earlier and got stuck. And now this time he really gets hit. Sibley, look at the damage there. Sibley got taken for a ride there. And you can see a Sturgill. Looks like he got clipped in there. Oh, my goodness. Now the 87 as well got into that bind. That was Steve Ritter. I mentioned there that got into it. All drivers seem to be, for the most part, okay in terms of how they are in the driver's seat, but maybe not so much the car. Some of them are going to have a little cleanup job on their hands. See if we can see how bad the 87 got. Actually, that car doesn't look too bad down there. We have talked about before on how this car can take some punishment and give it back as well. It can take some abuse. We've seen these things literally dish it out back at the LA Coliseum. We'll see them literally next week, I believe, in real life go at it there. And we've seen what these drivers will put up and throw down in terms of speed, in terms of scope. So it's not hard to see like what they'll do. But right now, pit stops wise, Tyler Dalton, Charles Van Schaik, Philip Schmitz, and all them leading the way out. Hales, Burke, Hickman Jr., Hudson, Wild, and Caffrey stayed out. Pretty much everybody else in the field going into pit road while the rest decided to stay out and stay out of the carnage there entering into the pits. Probably best for them just kind of focus in on their lines and focus in on their shots here. Field drivers now preparing for battle yet again. The 95, Sean Burke, going to bring the RBS crew up into the pack yet again. That team consisting, of course, of Justin Reynolds, 94, the 93 of Bud Shearer, and the 96 of Jerry Livingston. All represented in that group and in that pack. The Sim 500 guys include Tyler Dalton in the 19, the 9 of Bobby Wetzel, who's driving technically number-wise in sim racing is the 90, but he's the 9 on our end, so we're just going to say the 9. And then, of course, even some other tough competitors that we've seen before really bring it to the show and bring it to the track. Maybe the team list, but they will not give out. Chad Coleman, Robert Dudley, they've all been part of it. Jake Gimbel making a name for himself early in that iRace podcast #1 as he won stage #1 here at Auto Club. But it is Michael Caffrey, our lone Australian, about to put the boys down under into his territory as they're going to get them right off the line through turn number 4. I'd say he's probably used to this kind of power he's going to have to deal with on the fresh start here in the fresh pavement. Because it's hotter than it is getting here at Auto Club, and it's about to heat up even more. Let's see how the Australian fares on the restart. Oh, he left nothing on the table for these guys. He got it right out of the game. He fired it on all cylinders. Caffrey will take the early lead. Hudson, Wild, Hickman Jr. all going through. 3 deep now. Here comes Dalton. He's wasting no time getting back to the front. He don't care what's in his way. It'll be the 60 that blinks first. Hickman Jr. opening the door up. Don't expect the same for Sean Burke, though. Sean Burke's not one of those guys that will blink. He will put the bumper to you if he has to, and he'll run your line in. Big puff of smoke coming down there on a pit road. I believe that is possibly either it's Dakota Kramer or Cody Sturgill. Unfortunately, with the smoke coming out of the transmission, they're trying to get it cleared up down there. Can't quite get a number on that one right now. Oh, look out. Trouble. D-Roo taking for a bit of a bump there from turn number 2. Giroux got derailed, but he hangs on and puts the Folger 6 back in line. Just in the nick of time, but again, that took a lot of time for him. Just that little hit just kind of messed up everything, and now he's got to figure out how to really jump back into this. Top of the field right now, we look in, I believe right now that was the 42 Dakota Kramer that is right now currently involved in that wreck. Got a puff of smoke coming down 3 deep off the edge there. That's the 43 of Samuel Harrell going in there with Philip Schmitz in 18 and the 8 and the 23 of Charles Van Schaik. Back at the onboard camera here with the 43, and again you can see Harrell currently trying to put the me/the Besides Envy machine into top half here. He's had some great finishes here on the show before and came away with a couple of wins. He'd love to try to do it again here if at all possible, I'm betting you. Right out the plains. Oh, no, not again. Look out down there. Major trouble ensuing. Richard Crane's going for a ride into the inside wall. The 36 is all but done. Left front wheel is jammed up completely. I'm not totally sure what went wrong there, who got into him. Let's take a look in a minute, but the action right now a little too hot for us to catch up. They're jumping around. They're moving positions up, and again, they're still going 3 deep and moving their way into positions they cannot escape from. It's either you back out or you ride it out. Camera wasn't quite on Crane, unfortunately, so I don't think we're going to be able to see it and showcase it here. Kramer is all but done and out as well. The number 42 done for the night. He's not bringing it back to the track. Talk about thrown to the wire and thrown out of playing field territory. These drivers nearly and barely escaping with their cars still in one piece. Whoa! Jumping down that bottom. I'm trying to get a number on that one. I think that might have been Richard Crane. Yeah, that was Crane. So, but sure, right now, currently in pit road, Cody Sturgill was the one that was on fire there, smoking up. They got the car cleared up. Sorry for the jump cuts there. Our cameras got locked up, and we had to figure out how to get them back up. Tyler Dahl, once again, is going to be a race later. And again, looks like he's trying to use the same strategy he was trying to use earlier before those cautions came out. He had one break earlier this season already at the season opener, but now it looks like he's trying to hope for a few more here at Auto Club. There has been a bit of a pattern we've always noticed, which is either a driver that comes out winning on the first race usually does good for the rest of the time being, or they end up finding themselves in the old curse, which is the first win will be their only win. Where will Dalton's be? Heavy action here in stage number 2. Here right in the middle goes the 49 of Robert Dudley. Gonna deal with the 53 of Bill Hales on top. On the bottom of him, the 15 of Joe Hudson. Now shooting around, Philip Schmitz gonna move in there a little bit, trying to put the Toys for Tots and Interstate Batteries machine right in there as well. He's not letting up, and he's not giving anything to them either. When you deal with that pressure too on the differentials and the way the tires can spin their way around, you really got to make sure that steering is pretty much right on point and right on spot to hit each corner to make sure every turn, every part of the car can work its way in. And they designed them more like the body of a muscle car, but they have kind of a sports car feel to them with a little bit of that muscle background in there. They're very, very weird design, if you ask me. Personally, I would have preferred they just got rid of that rear differential down on the bottom of the car and took that out and let them drive like actual, muscle cars. slash stock cars, but then again, that's just me. But there has been rumors going around with those spoiler differentials and difference makers there that could make for an interesting package on not just short track racing, but in general for all the kind of racing we'll see in the near future. So who's to say when iRacing upstates that and gets that put on our end. Got 17 laps remaining here. Charles Van Schaik trying to prove why he is a defending champion. 21 spots up. He's muscling towards the 19th Tyler Dalton. And he's got Cameron DeRue right now working with him in the background, trying to help him a little bit as much as he's trying to help himself. Pressure is definitely on here, and he can't be making too many more mistakes. He knew that earlier on. He got trapped in the rest of the field. He got trapped up with their bunched up spots. Hasn't really found himself too much in trouble since then. In our positions right now, currently, we are looking at the fastest lap being set by the number 44. That was Christoph Hall. As Hall laid down a 40.27. That is the number to beat right now for the fastest lap. However, that doesn't necessarily mean it will stand the test of time here or be able to last out the long run. There's a long way to go in this race and still plenty of time for other drivers to be making their moves and timing their shots. Front of the pack right now, currently dealing with the pressure on themselves. Take a look at our lap time differentials right now. Tyler Dalton has given up a lot to Charles Van Schaik currently. Van Schaik only lost a little bit of time on the 100 ends here on lap 43, 44. The rest were tenths gained. Lap 45, he gained even more on him. Tyler may need to rethink his strategy, maybe lay low for just a little bit longer instead of trying to muscle the field off. Charles Van Schaik desperately trying to make the move on him. And he's got a good look at it to the inside. Here comes that victory. Here comes the number 43. Victory Junction machine right now looking towards the inside. He's paneled up the 19th Tyler Dalton. The 7500 camp trying to hold him back. Van Schaik last season only coming away with a couple of wins. He'd love to add another one today. And he is fighting hard on Dalton. Dalton just desperately trying to keep him on the bottom end, trying to keep him away from making the moves. Still increasing the pressure, increasing the momentum. There is just no room for error, and they know it too. So close yet so far. Charles has managed to get a run on Dalton, but Dalton has defended him off at every corner. Dalton, I think right now, probably looking at the overall picture. If he gets that bottom up, he doesn't have to worry about him trying to cover him on the top. But giving up that top line means that Van Schaik's going to have to watch the tire wear entering into each turn and really find a perfect place to make a pass. Again, trying to pass these cars isn't the easiest, but it's a 670 horsepower package still, so that does allow them to have some decent run-in, decent returns on the momentum, but unfortunately, that's not going to help you out when you're trying to make a good little pass off. The dirty airflow and the tire wear affecting too much for Charles Van Schaik, and Dalton able to hold him down just long enough. Oh, Samuel Harrell right now just getting a lot of power up on the outside line, making some good use of the corners and good use of the track. He's looking very, very carefully at the 6 of DeRue and the 23 of Van Schaik, while Tyler Dalton currently holds them all back in the mix of the pack. In the back of the pack right now, currently, drivers are separating themselves out far and in between. Jerry Livingston, the 96 machine, currently looking to get closer up to the 35 of Chad Coleman. And a while back, I would have said if Coleman was in that championship hunt, that would have been a bad sign for everybody involved. Coleman last season won the last race out and won most of the races at the very end. He was as dominant as he was absorbent on taking the pressure and taking the punishment and putting it right back on everyone else. So far this season, though, it has not been the same picture. Not yet, anyway. Again, it is early. Michael Caffrey has gone to pit road. He's going to be putting himself back in the back of the pack here. Maybe looking at fuel and tire here as a very big strategizing point. Can't forget as well, he did not go to pit road what everybody else had, so that could have made the difference maker for him and that team. Cameron D. River now passed up by the 43 of Sammy Harrell. Harrell making a great jump to the outside. Fans love what they've seen so far here, and stage number 2 has been a little bit more chaotic in terms of what happened in the caution ends, but so far else, it's been just drive your line and hope for the best. Victory Junction, number 23, Van Schaik. Look at him, peeking his way in, trying to squeeze the life from the 19's rear. Trying to make sure he can get the airflow to kind of center off his way. Keith Prince out of the race here. He's done. Cody Sturgill seems to all be out as well. Richard Crane has got to be looking to be out with the damage on that left front. Dakota Kramer out from the damage suffered earlier. And we talked earlier about Cody Sturgill, you know, blowing that motor out completely. That big puff of smoke definitely did not help his cause any. He's going to have to return sometime sooner rather than later. Butch Shearer seems to be all but out as well after a great battle. He just could not hold it off turn number 2 on that last bit of cautions. It ended up costing him dearly. Alan Wild kind of in the same boat, unfortunately, as well. Here we go now. Battle back up to the spots here. We have got 7 laps remaining here at stage number 2. And it has just been a war between these two drivers at stage number 2. Dalton dealt with the pressure from the one of Gimbal earlier. This time it's Van Schaik who's putting the pressure on him. And Van Schaik looks like he got a little bit smarter here. He caves the 19 in. Oh, but now he's throwing blocks. He's throwing shots. He'll throw a little left, a little right action in there, and that's where you make your moves. You've got to make big prioritized moves. You've got to make big crucial decisions to win races out. Dalton tried to get ahead of Van Schaik earlier, got blocked, and then he had to completely cross him over. Van Schaik was making a good run there, but he just could not hold the line down. Now has to scratch his way back into the pack. The rest of your field currently, as you can see, is separated out bit by bit and bit as we go. Bobby Wetzel, the Sim 500 number 9, currently trying to make a move here to the number 7 of Scott Simley. Simley going up into the middle groove. Westbell moving it to the high side. And again, the high side can get a little bit of power runned off and get a little bit of room cleared in. But again, it's very difficult when you don't have much in the way of timing and error to make with. Joe Hudson right now currently watching on the 15 USAL with a battle up ahead of him. Ron Holyfield in the 811. Number 11 teammates there. It's Tyler Dalton and his Sim 500 camp. Making the jump up into the front. Remember Holyfield last time out had a chance to bring it home at Daytona, but he worked with Tyler Dalton to try to secure that one. And Dalton had said to him, point blank, thank you so much for helping me out. That would probably be the biggest win Dalton has of his career this season and maybe of his time being here on Pete's Race TV, although we have seen crazier things happen, so who knows what he'll bring next. And right now still dealing with the pressure here from Van Schaik. Again, the guy with the most I rating versus somebody you would think lower on his end, but again, he's got a 39.59 I rating. Van Schaik is no slouch and no pushover. The man can fight, the man can drive. And these two will not leave each other alone here. This has literally been going on for like the last, what, 20 laps or so? They've been just dead even with each other and neck. No one's been able to get a good advantage over the other. 3 laps left. Battle for the lead still. Van Schaik chipping it in low. He's going to have to bring it back up. Dalton trying to defend. Well, here we go. 2 more to go now here. And right now, 23 laying low. Again, you can see Dalton using every ounce of dirty air, every little dirty tactic he can without actually hitting at 23. Again, there's one thing a driver cannot see is that dirty airflow that goes around a car. The fans can't notice it, neither can we as a broadcaster, but we do know it is there because we can actually tell what happens when the car slows down. Think of it like in bowling. You have an invisible surface, unless you're watching on the PBA stuff. You got an invisible surface of oil, and the only way to know where the actual good stuff is to make the ball do what you want versus what it will do when it goes bad is determined by how the ball reacts. The same goes for a car. A car will react differently depending on whether or not it can get through the airflow, get through the current. And with the way this is looking right now, Dalton is throwing every little dirty air and dirty little spot he can to keep him from making the big move. Van Schaik is going to have to dip down low here and make one final attempt at the pass. Dalton probably listen to that very carefully. Oh, and look out, here we go. Bumpers put together. Van Schaik not having it with Dalton. He got him in the bumper and got him in the corner, but he's not going to get him to the line. Tyler Dalton's winning stage number 2. I was kind of curious to see if Van Schaik was going to be able to punt Dalton a little bit out of the way there and give him the old bump and run. But it looks like the next-gen car just a slight bit more resilient than we gave it credit for. Tyler Dalton is your stage number 2 winner. We've got 2 winners so far. Jay Gimbel and the 19 Tyler Dalton. Van Schaik, though, credit where credit's due. 21 spots up from the field and goes from 23rd to 2nd. And now we find ourselves in a heated battle for supremacy and control. The ultimate question remains, though, is what drivers go into pit road and what drivers make their bold moves now? Pressure will certainly be on. Samuel Harrell, Aaron Action Jackson, they're all moving their way back up. Action Jackson, another driver that came so close to getting himself into the championship rounds and championship run. Falling victim and falling short to just, unfortunately, what could best be described as just some bad luck and some bad maneuvers when he really should have made some more earlier attempts on. He told me earlier today, though, at the end of the day, we're going to focus in on one thing, and that is just getting better as a driver. Field is all uttered into pit road except Cameron DeRue. He went into pit road earlier than everybody else, so that will strategize his plan above all else. As the birds come flying on your screen, no, that was not some little glitch graphic gremlin that popped up there, guys. That's actually the birds. For pit road, Dalton, Harrell, and Van Schaik will be the top 3 coming out. We'll bring Christoph Hall, Aaron Jackson, Ryan D. Cook, Ron Holyfield, Maurice Burnett, John Higman Jr. into the top 10 to round them out. field of drivers right now ready to rip them up around the track here and head off into the distance. We are heading for the final stage, ladies and gentlemen. Ultimately, this will boil down to one thing, and that is a driver. How do you take stage 1 and stage 2 and use it to the absolute peak? For the final time, race fans, here's your global strategy team. Restart for the stage, and we're going to what? No stage. Final stage is upon us here, race fans. Here we go. Right out of the gate. No surprises here. Tyler Dahl in the early lead. Sammy Morrell hanging into the second spot. Van Schaik already trying to move his way into the chains. Christoph Hall going to the outside early. Looks like he'll try to stick to a strategy here and hope for the best. Pressure's going to be on here again. We are halfway done with this race, and we are in full race mode. Only the best can figure it out now. Only the best will be able to kind of hang on to this one. Harrell, Hall, they're all hunting the 19 down immediately. And Dahl now finds himself trapped between a rock and a hard place. He's got to defend two areas here if either one goes for the run. I think this is brilliant strategy by both guys here. Put the pressure on the 19. Make him do mistakes. Force him into mistakes here. Having to block two lines, two angles means he's got to give up something. That's great work here from both drivers here to be able to use the chains and use the runoff. Again, though, Dalton, though, no shame and no give. He doesn't quit that easily. And look at Hall drives it deep on the outside. Here's the pressure. Dalton in the middle, 30 wide for the race lead. Hall right now driving it deep off. He got it off of the 19, and Harrell right in the middle, down to the bottom. And now he moves the chains. Dalton having to back off. I think he realized what we were what the other drivers were thinking as well. What we were saying, which was they're going to put the pressure on him. He's going to have to find a way to back out sooner or later. Well, they had to there. Christoph Hall, your new leader. Dalton got to be looking at the overall picture. He can't get too far behind right now. He knows that there's a no-man land zone if he does that. The rest of the field currently stretching out more as it goes here. This is looking further and further wrong. Steve Ritter in that serve Bolt 87 machine, driving it completely right on the line. Jake Gimble in the one, trying to hang there with it as well. Remember, he won stage number 1 earlier. He's trying to recapture some of that momentum, trying to capture some of that speed back. But the other side of the side of the field, the other side of the coin, looks to try to make their way to the chains and trying to wade through their spots. Weigh out your options and make your moves when you need to. Whoa, hold up there for the front end of the pack as well. Look at this. Here we go. Harrell and Hall. They're now making it easy on each other. That much is for certain. And Aaron Jackson right now looking on as that massage enemy number 43 of Samuel Harrell just took the race lead away. You could say the 43 was envious to get to the front, so he had to drive that one in, and may have relaxed the 44 up a little bit with a slight massage in the rear, and then just decided to kind of snap a few corners on him as well. Okay, now my best line I'm working on here, guys. Speaking of making their best line back, watch out. Here comes the RBS 93 of Bud Shearer. And Shearer right now probably got to be the most disappointed out of this entire field. Had a fast car that's hanging with these guys right now, including the old touring stage number 2 winner, Tyler Dalton. But it looked like, unfortunately, in stage 2, he could not help but find himself trapped between a rock and a hard place in the worst possible times. And he is fighting so desperately right now with this field. Just lingering right in the playing fields and right around the track here. Nobody giving in, no one giving up. So much playing field and so much drive off the lines here. Everybody just giving it what they got and what they came to see. Fans love what they're seeing as well here. Harrell, though, and Hall right now still battling for the lead. Dalton just laying it low for the moment. Jack Coleman, 35 also coming through with Sean Burke and the 95 up there. Into the wall there. Goes one of our drivers there, and unfortunately finding themselves kind of trapped in between a rock and a hard place again. Field starting to straighten out. Looks like we may be getting a little bit more into a direct drive here. Swing into the spot. Oh, Dalton, big jump there up to the top side there with the number 44. Not too sure what was going for everything they wanted and see what they could do there. Man, these guys absolutely just throwing it all on the line, just bringing it right in the playing field and in position. Right into the playing field yet again. Tyler Dalton is going to be right on the bottom edge. He has not been there most of the time today, but he sure is making good use of it. Van Scheidt got a front row view to this as well right now, currently not straight around. These drivers just do not care, they do not give up either. Feeling down the positions here. The driver's now starting to get further along into the corners and into the drive off. See where we go from here right now. Currently, again, though, Samuel Harrell with the race leads. Christoph Hall early on trying to get a good jump on that position, trying to take control earlier. Didn't quite work out his way there. Field's currently separating themselves out more and more along the line. There goes Dalton there, and here he comes. One big jump after another. Look at this on the fight. My word, race fans, just absolutely kicking up the dirt, kicking up the speeds. Dalton is going to be your new leader. Coming through the field, coming through the charge right now. Every single one of these drivers, man, they just cannot give an inch and they can't let off easily. And you can see they just won't let it happen either. Jack Coleman, oh, I was wondering when he'd show up. This is what I was talking about earlier. Watch out for the AutoZone 35. Coleman is back and he's on the attack. This is a great battle right now for the top spots. Samuel hoping they just keep battling amongst themselves and leave everyone else in the dust. Meanwhile, we haven't forgot about the back half. Brian D. Cook, Don Burke, Scott Simley, they're all out of here. Joe Hudson, Philip Smith, Bill Hales, and Steve Ritter making the pine. Trying to stay in control of themselves. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Dalton, he's in the grass and into the front of the field. Something's gone wrong down there for the number 19. What happened to Dalton? Bud Sherritt got trapped down there too. We're going to go visit the PTM Racing Team Instant Replay. What on earth just happened? I think Sherritt might have gotten a little bit twitched up. Oh, he did. Oh, my. Oh, no. Lap traffic gets the better of Dalton here, and unfortunately the frustration has got to set in. Dalton was literally on the cups and on the field of possibly looking at win number 2 for the season. And now he's looking at having to bring this thing back from the pack to at least have a decent finishing position. What a tough break there. And a huge break for others, as we will see a new winner more than likely this race. But who will it be? Will it be somebody we've seen before, or will it be a guy that's been there in plenty of times? Well, it might be the defending champion right now. It's Samuel Harrell currently is dealing with him on the bottom lane. Van Schaik trying to get a run there off the inside, making for a good pass in turn number 3 and 4. Jay Gibble as well, making a bit of a fight and excursion back to the front here. We're down to 40 laps to go here at Auto Club. An excruciating level of fatigue and pain these drivers have got to be feeling and setting in here. Christoph Hall here after a great little fight out there now finds himself trapped in the pack and trapped in the back here. Jack Coleman getting around him as he tags the wall off for corner number 1. Charles Van Schaik a race later. Jake Gimbel and Samuel Harrell looking on from behind. Aaron Axton Jackson dealing with Hall as well now in the 44. He's trying to make his jump up there. Hall might be fighting a very tight-ended car here with a lot of problem. Doubling up right now, Hickman Jr. making some runs down the bottom lane. Everybody else just kind of moving their way into the chains here. Scott Sinley in the 7 also fighting back here as Ryan D. Cook keeps the Budweiser number 10 right into the playing field and right onto the track. Field drivers right now just trying to put the pressure on, trying to make some runs, and trying to make some level of the playing fields here. Van Schaik still leads them out here currently. The rest of the field into the hodgepodge and a big jump off here. Here we go back 3 deep in, now double back off. Ritter right now looking to try to make a bit of a comeback trail here, maybe make a little bit of a resurgence like the Rolling Stones usually do. And it looks like that may not be the case. Ritter way too loose off turn number 4. Trouble there for the 87. 3 deep through the gap. Shoot through the moon. And there goes Dudley and Holyfield. Holyfield right there had to make a jump there and had to make a big move. Dudley right now still laps down after his little skirmish earlier. Charles Van Schaik nearly getting a full second ahead right now with 30 laps left to go. Looks like he could be taking home his first win of the season. Field gonna head to pit road. Harrell, Coleman, they're gonna be the first to blink here. Gimbel, Schaik, and Hickman Jr. stay out for now. very interesting strategies here by our drivers. These guys, man, right now currently just hanging in there and doing whatever they got to do just to really put the pressure on. So Van Schaik and Gibble are going to go into pit road right now. Coleman, Harrell, they are all now moving back up to the front, back into the fight. Coleman, though, has got the lead. This is going to be a big-time strategy call here from the drivers here, especially if your name is the ones that are in the lead right now. The 77, Michael Caffrey, in the way. Here comes Van Schaik, though, and he's hard on the gas, trying to get out of there. Gibble right in with him. Coleman's coming off the front straightaway, though. They've got to hurry out of pit road. I don't think they're going to do it. Here they come. Right out the spot. Gibble will get the lead off from it, but Coleman is coming up on the outside from turn number 1 to 2, and it's going to be Coleman now fully getting the lead. Sammy Harrell now right back on his bumper, going to the corner panels. Every driver for themselves here. No room for error here. The field right now, 26 laps to go. They have shredded, they have torn, they have driven themselves to a pure insanity. And this is right now what we're looking at. You know, Gibble actually able to hang on, though. He's not laying low. He's not giving up. He's trying to make sure he can make or break it here with the rest of the field. Maybe has a bit of a chance here. Guys just do not give up, and they will not let off right now. Question remains here, really, where does the field register themselves, and when can they hang on for the run? Charles Van Schaik here going down on the inside. Coleman trying to make a run up on the top, making him back down low, and it looks like it could go either way here. Aaron Action Jackson currently a lap down. Gimbel's your race leader. Scott Simley, though, surprise, surprise, somehow has been able to withstand the storm, withstand the pressure, despite everything thrown at him earlier. He's not done yet. These guys have pushed themselves in and out of this madness and in this situation so often today that it has been completely insane to believe. Coming right onto that front half here and into the field, still nowhere to be had and no room for mistakes. Keeping through the field too. Let's look in the back of the pack. Joe Hudson and the number 15 making a little bit of a resurgence here. He's got Sean Burke right in his line, still firing down. Ritter in the 87 right now, cutting the pressure on. 20 laps left to go. Everybody right now just trying to hang on. Sammy Morrell probably thinking at this point like me, and I've just had so much to go for and so much to hit with, but I'm running out of time. If the 43 got anything left. These 20 laps left, man, that's what the pressure boils down to. As it forces drivers to make very crucial decisions at crucial times here. None so more than maybe the guys that came in and out of pit road the fastest here. You can see the time zone though is not working in his favor. Charles Van Schaik is hot on the trail. Simley passed up by the 23. Playing field starting to shrink down here. Gimbel knows he's got company coming up. Van Schaik was so close to winning stage number 2. Gimbel won stage 1. Could possibly Van Schaik take down the guy that went 12 up on him? He went 21 up. Could he go 22? All depends on his strategy and his key points of shots here. Definitely got some work to do here and looking for what he can do to the table. Coming back around off the corners here. Every driver for themselves. Still plenty of time to be had. John Hickman Jr. Right now, looking at that 43 of Samuel Harrell. Looking for openings, looking for chances under the sun. Harrell deep on the corner, deep on the run. 16 laps now, turns to 15 to go. And the battle compresses for the race lead. 3 drivers looking for top spot. Simley, Van Schaik, and Gimbel. They could be your 3 favorites looking for this win. Van Schaik has got the lead finally. Gimbel finally gave up and gave him the room, but is he going to try to save up what's left in that tank to make the run? Strategizing and strategies played into a factor here for what these drivers have done here so far in terms of their position, in terms of their scope. Burke right now currently dealing with Maurice Burnett as well as Ryan D. Cook, trying to make a move on them to get to Christoph Hall. The 44 slowing down just a little bit here, giving them plenty of room to make it or break it here. My, folks, it's a little bit hectic down here in that mid-pack right now. Van Schaik currently still dealing with Gimbel and Simley falling further back. Coleman stretching out more. But in the other side of the field right now, Burke, Cook, Hall, Maurice Burnett putting on a show back here in the run. 10 laps remain, going to 9. Burke slightly loose and tightening it up back off of turn number 4. Here gives a big jump there on the tie path of 44. Christoph Hall making a big run there. 3 deep we go yet again. Run Holyfield in the 11 now, looking to bring a promising strike back. Talk about making or breaking their situation when they can. Doing whatever they got to do to hang on. Coming through and through right now, still nothing left out on the table. 9 laps remain here, and again, it is still a battle of two dignities here. The ones that are up in the front half leading from strategy, the rest pressured into a fight zone. 3 deep now yet again. Still no room for error. These drivers just killing it out here right now. This has just been absolutely amazing to watch, folks. Point A to point B, nobody, I mean nobody, gave an inch, and no one gave out in terms of scope or terms of control. Right now, looks like they may be single filing them up yet again here. Looks like Keith Prince actually got the car back onto the track here a little bit. That is the 3 you see there behind the 53 of Bill Hales. Oh, the 3 definitely out of this one. He has way too many laps down and not enough time to come back from it. Top 5 on your screen with the final laps remaining. And you can see Harrell right now trying to get there to Coleman, looking for some openings, looking for some opportunities here to maybe make or break his day out here. Five laps remain now here. And Gimbel looking for a comeback attempt. Here's the time zone differences. You can see there's a slight gain, and Shanshike was waiting. Gimbel is currently on the binders and on the nose, trying to overpower the car and trying to give as much momentum as he can. Charles slightly dipping in there a little bit. Looked like the car might not be quite centered off as well as he wants it to. And he's losing time, and he's losing a bit of it. Gimbel, look at him trying to take him down here. Three laps left to go right now. Gimbel's just giving it everything she's got. Van Schaik, though, managed to outdrive him a little bit. Got a good run there. Could Victory Junction be taking this 23 to victory lane? We could be seeing it. The gap is starting to shred off and starting to get favorably to the 23. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 laps to go here on Pizza Racing TV. And right in the mix of it here, we forgot all about those guys in the 3rd place spot. They made a jump for the 3 wide. Salute Coleman, Harrell, and Hickman Jr. Your battle for 3rd. Unbelievable race, fans. This has just been absolutely amazing to watch from point A to point B. Sammy saying he was saving a little bit of fuel. Well, I don't know how much more fuel you need to save up, but you may want to start figuring it out now. Ladies and gentlemen, white flag high in the air. We've got one more to go. Well, Harrell, if you were saving fuel, you best figure out now how to get those tires working in, because you got Hickman right in front of you for one last pass to talk with us in the podium tonight. Gimbel hoping for a finish like to make a mistake to give him an opening. Down the back straightaway though. The gap's still not closing up as much as he needs it to. To the final run. Gimbel digging into the inside, but I don't think it's going to be enough. On corner number 4, straight to the finish line. The season champion last season returns to victory lane in the best way possible. He wins at Auto Club. What a performance from Charles Van Schaik from the outhouse traveling to the White House tonight. Charles Van Schaik is your race winner at Auto Club Speedway today. And what a lasting impression he has now put up the field. Not only did he prove last season was not a lucky break or a fluke, this Victory Junction 23 is here to stay. And he brings the Petty style to the track and to the lanes. What a performance by the 23. And I smell a victory lane celebration coming up. Or maybe not. Does he have enough fuel in there? Oh, I hear that thing downshifting. Either he's thinking about it or he's waiting for everybody to get across the line. I'm having a hard time thinking of it here. I think he may be out of fuel, though. I think he's out of fuel, race fans. Let's take a look at our race results. Presented by Global Strategy Team, this is your final results. Charles Van Schaik brings it home. Jay Gimbel going second. Third to John Higman Jr. Samuel Rowe going fourth. Joe Hudson brings it to fifth. Steve Ritter 6th. 7 to Scott Simley. 8 to Chad Coleman. 9th to Ron Holyfield. 10th Ryan D. Cook. That rounds out the top 10 in this one. The rest of your finishers on your screen. Oh, wait, there we go. There is those burnouts. Van Schaik was just being awfully patient down there. It's a thing we all want to do more than anything, folks. Celebrate it down in Victory Lane tonight. Let's take it down to your top 3 drivers, ladies and gentlemen, starting with your third place finisher today, John Higman Jr. Bit of a silent one in this one. He was kind of quiet for most of the race. Comes back with a big fighting opportunity. And Higman, you're going to take it home for a podium. Congratulations on that. And what was it like there on those final laps? We saw you dealing with Coleman and Harrell for quite a while. What was it like there at the end?
A lot of it was me mostly saving gas. The whole first half of that run I was clutching, so they kind of got a little far ahead of me, and I had to run them back down. And that whole time, I guess I was also saving tires too, because the thing was driving good there at the end.
Driving good at the end, really making some big moves when you needed to most. Now, I'll ask you too. I mean, you had a lot of guys that were trying to, kind of knock you off the top there and trying to get you there onto the back half, but when you held them off there at the very end, I mean, that third place finish certainly got to help out from the rest of the season kind of going forward, right?
Yeah, this is my first race of the season, so hopefully I continue in this fashion.
Continue in this fashion indeed. Well, nevertheless, Higman, I got to ask you, sir, you're going to take a podium today here. Who do you want to thank for this third place finish?
I'd like to thank Sim 500 and Goat Racing League, Charles and Joey, and my mom and dad. And let's see, Mass Graphics, to the guys who paint our cars. Doesn't paint my car, but he paints the cars for the league. And NC811.org.
For sure there. All right, John, man. Congratulations on this third place finish today, sir.
Thanks.
John Higman Jr., ladies and gentlemen, going to take it home for a third place spot. Today, in second place, though, it will be Jay Gimbel in the number 1 going. A solid second today. And Gimbel Talk about having to ride it out there in the first stage. You fought Dalton to the line and to the end. You had a little bit of a hiccup in stage number 2. What was going on there as you led into a hard charge for the final stage?
Yeah, I have no idea really if I won that first stage or not, but it was probably pretty close. Can you verify for me?
I verified on my end. I said you did because it was showing across the line you did.
Oh, okay. Well, it was definitely close, but I mean, the race was really good. I tried everything that I had in me to try and catch Charles there at the end, but he had something figured out that I didn't. I got into the pits before him too, and I was like, oh, we could maybe steal this one possibly, and he was just dialed in. I gave everything I could and just couldn't catch him there at the end, but ended up trying out a little bit of a strategy in stage 2. That's why I wasn't up towards the front. I decided not to take tires to try and save an extra set for the final stage, but that didn't end up happening because I thought there was going to possibly be a caution. You know, you can kind of set yourself up there to have more speed than everyone else if you don't end up taking that set of tires there in stage 2. And actually, at the end of stage 2, I was running identical times to the leaders with 60 lap old tires, so that was pretty cool to see. But other than that, I just gotta congratulate Charles on the win.
For sure there. Well, I gotta ask you this too, Jay. I mean, had you had another chance to really work those tires in and had a little bit more speed, maybe just a couple less laps to deal with, do you think you may have been able to take down Van Schaik there at the very end?
I don't know. I think my speed came from saving the tires on the long runs, and I actually kind of saved a little bit there at the beginning of that last run. Once we did our final pit stop, I saved about maybe 10, 12 laps of tire, and it still didn't matter. So, I mean, he just had it dialed in, and I just want to congratulate him on that race. I've been racing with him for a while, and actually, as you mentioned that, used to stream a league back in the day that I was in, and I ran, and I appreciate you hopping on board, and I think it's cool to see familiar faces over here on the iRacing side of things.
Well, like I told you a long time ago, we're trying to get every person in iRacing that ever comes through their doors to get on this broadcast. So I'm glad I'm able to still meet up with some old friends and visit some old folks. So, Gibbo, it's been a while since we talked to you, I guess. So, how about it, man? You know the drill. Who you want to thank you for this second place finish?
I just want to shout out iRace Podcast. If you haven't checked them out, give them a listen. They do short podcasts, about 45 minutes if you're on your way to work. If you're just chilling at home, check them out. It's usually iRacing related, and right now we're kind of doing a little series with a lot of setup shops before the Road to Pro starts. So there's a lot of stuff you guys can pick up on out there if you're interested in running that, and also get a familiar idea with what setup shops may fit and what may not fit with you. And other than that, I'd just like to give a shout out to Charles as well for putting on the league. I've known him for a while now, and he always treats everyone in the league well, and also I'm guessing you well. So yeah, and of course you broadcasting this. So thank you.
Yeah, it's good to hear from you, Jay. Best luck out in the rest of the season, man. Congratulations on popping it away with a second place finish.
Yep, take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, the number one, Jay Gimbel, coming away today, second place out of it all. But the defending champion hails the crown once more and will bring victory to Auto Club Speedway. Van Schaik gonna win it out here. And Charles, man, oh man, sir, you had like two different storylines going out through this race. The first one was in stage 1 and 2 where kind of laid low and won, came back from the pack on those cautions. Then stage 2, you throw the haymakers at Dalton, trying to take that one, give him a little bump, didn't quite shove him up enough though. And then in the final stage, you catch a few breaks, but then you lay low and enter in the pits. Where did the strategy from there just take you for, sir?
Well, it was, I started in the back just because, I like to run the low line here. I don't think I ran the high line except for maybe 2 or 3 laps when I needed to get around somebody. Stayed on the low line and just slowly as people were, wearing down their tires. I don't think at any time my tires were under 86%, the right front, 87 at any time when I took them off. But just the other thing is looking at the fuel strategy, me rolling the bottom. I didn't have to save. I did clutch in the third stage, about the last 2 or 3 laps of right before coming into the pits to get one more lap out of it, so I could push that last segment there as hard as I can, and just you know rolling the bottom. I was happy that not many people were following me, and then or trying to mimic what I was doing until it was too late. But that second stage, yeah, I gave Dalton a little push, and then I realized bigger picture, and I don't know if I would have had him if I would have continued to go harder, but I didn't think that was the right time at the end of a stage to possibly end both our nights. And unfortunately, yeah, his night ended. I was looking forward to possibly running with him, but it was at the end. But it was fun running there with Jay. It was like old times back in the IVRL.
For sure there. Now, Charles, this is your first win of the season, man. I know last season you didn't quite have as many wins as maybe some other guys did, but Gale coming away with that title last season, did that give you a little bit more confidence entering into this season with this race in particular, too?
I would say that gave me a little confidence. Obviously, we added the guys from Sim 500, a lot of high I rating guys, a lot of successful guys. So I figured my win total wouldn't go up this season. So I figured I would just try to be consistent and learn a few things. But the confidence comes from my teammates at Fastlane, Ricky Utting, Aaron Jackson, Ron Walsh, John Vanderwall. Those guys have taught me stuff that probably would have took me 3-4 years to learn on my own running officials. And Aaron won this race last season and dominated doing the low line, and he wasn't comfortable on the low line today, but he got caught up in a little bit, so it was unfortunate because he worked his way up to the top 5 there for a bit, and I thought we had the right strategy, but most of the confidence comes from them. I mean, a lot of people, I won't even say that it's it's me or I mean, yeah, I guess I got better, but it's all them teaching me and helping me out. And I just want to, every time I get a chance to do an interview or win a race, or the accolades go to them.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Van Schaik, you're going to bring home another victory today. So, with that said in stone, I got to ask you, my friend, who do you want to thank you for all this?
Well, I want to thank you for, I mean, you got us out of a pinch last season, and hopefully this is a long, long, long relationship. Like I said, I already thanked the guys at Fastlane, the admins, Sammy, Christoph, Bud, Aaron, Joey, Katina, um, and then obviously the sponsors, Global Strategy Team, MDR for the cool promo videos, Jack's Racing Collectibles, helped me out for the 164 giveaway, which we started the Pole Award. So Tyler Dalton will get his 164, a choice of 164, and then obviously Race City Sports Memorabilia. Um, he's our sponsor on Tuesday night, but I'm a diecast nut, and I found the right sponsor for Tuesday night because he's gonna make a lot of money off of me because that's all I collect is diecast. So.
Well, I think he's going to appreciate this shout out. I think I'll appreciate a few more bucks coming your way tonight, but nevertheless, though, Charles, congratulations, man. A very big win and earned and deserved tonight, sir.
Thank you.
Charles Anshike, ladies and gentlemen, the defending season champion, rolls in with a win tonight here on Auto Club Speedway. And race fans, thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate your support. Tune in as well tomorrow night as the Lightning Raps 30 comes to us at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Also on Tuesday night, you'll see at Kentucky Speedway, you'll see the Honda Civics go at it there. And also, you'll be seeing these guys, the Truck Series, coming alive there as well. So we'll send it to their promo package now. We'll see you guys then, but thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time when the green flag flies.